Hello viewers, Shubh Prabhat, good morning. I am Hemant Shukla and today I am going to explain electric field. Students, in Coulomb's law, you studied that if 2 point charges, suppose like this, one thing you must be clear that I am holding these two small paper pieces just to explain you. One cannot hold a charge. So I am holding is, suppose this is a point charge and this is another point charge. If they are kept in space at a distance r, they will experience force. Now if we remove one charge, then will this charge will experience force? No. This charge will experience force only any other charge is kept near this charge. So why this charge is experience force? We say that this charge produces electric field around it, and in that electric field this point charge experiences force. Just as in gravitation, a mass particle attracts another mass particle. Similarly, a charged particle attract other charged particle because of its electric field. Now I am going to explain this topic with the help of pen and copy. So be ready with pen and copy. This is fifth video lecture and topic is electric field. Electric field, as you may see here, this is a plus capital Q charge, and when we keep another plus Q charge, it is experiencing a force along this line. So this charge is experiencing force because of electric field of this plus Q charge. Now we can define electric field strength or electric field intensity. Electric field strength in electric field is defined as the force experienced by unit positive charge known as test charge placed at that point. Suppose force on Q charge is F, then force on unit charge will be equal to F by Q. So this F by Q is a measurement of electric field intensity. We take Q as small as possible so that it cannot affect the field due to plus Q charge. So we write electric field E is equal to limit Q tends to 0 F by Q. Here limit Q tends to 0 means Q is very small as possible, but it is not 0. It is tending towards 0, but it is not 0. Now unit of electric field strength Newton per Coulomb, because E is equal to F by Q. Unit of F is Newton, unit of Q is Coulomb, so unit of E is Newton per Coulomb. Now if we know the charge capital Q, then what will be strength of electric field at a distance r from this charge? Let us derive formula for this. Force on plus Q charge due to plus capital Q charge. F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q into small q by r square along OA. So E is equal to F by Q. So E is equal to this divided by Q. So E comes out to be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square along OA. Q is known as source charge and small q is known as test charge. In vector form, we will write E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q by r square into unit vector r. This is unit vector along OA. So this gives the direction of force. If charge is positive, direction of force will be away from the charge. If charge is negative, direction of force on Q charge will be towards this plus Q charge. Now here are two numericals. First, calculate electric field intensity due to plus 4 coulomb charge at a distance of 20 centimeter from this charge. तो फार्मूला है V is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. So put the value of 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q is 4 microcoulomb, so we will write it in coulomb. So this is 4 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 20 centimeter means 0.2 meter square. Solve it. This comes out to be equal to 9.0 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per coulomb, and its direction will be radially away from the charge because it is plus charge. Second numerical, if force experienced by plus 2 microcoulomb charge, now here plus 2 microcoulomb charge is test charge, kept in electric field is 36 Newton. Why it is test charge? Because in this question force is given on the charge. Then calculate electric field intensity at that point. Formula is equal to F by Q. Put the value of F, divide it by Q, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb, and it comes out to be equal to 1.8 into 10 to the power 7 Newton per coulomb. Now electric field at a point due to many charges. Suppose plus Q1 is charge is placed at A, plus Q2 at B, and plus Q3 at C, and we have to calculate electric field intensity at point P. So what we will do? We will calculate electric field due to individual charges. This is field E1 due to plus Q1 charge. This is field E2 due to plus Q2 charge, and this is field E3 due to plus Q3 charge. Now since electric field intensity is a vector quantity, so we will take vector sum of these three vectors E1, E2 and E3. So we can calculate electric field at a point due to many charges by using superposition principle, which states that electric field intensity at a point due to many charges is vector sum of all the electric fields produced by individual charges. So electric field at P is equal to vector sum of E. Put the values of E1, E2 and E3. This will give the magnitude of field. Now I am writing in mathematical form. This can be written as 1/4 pi epsilon naught summation Qi upon Ri square into unit vector Ri, where I is equal to from 1 to n. If there are two charges, first put I is equal to 1, this expression, then put I is equal to 2, this expression. So you will do expansion like this. If there are 4 charges, I will be equal to from 1 to 4. So this is written in mathematical form for electric field intensity at a point due to many charges. Now how we will measure it? With the help of vector diagram, following the law of parallelogram of vector addition. Look from this diagram. This is vector E1, add vector E2 to this vector by completing this parallelogram. Now its resultant is this diagonal of this parallelogram. Now add to this vector another vector E3, complete parallelogram. This vector which is drawn by red pen will give the resultant electric field. Final electric field will be in this direction, which makes an angle phi with the direction of E1. Now switch over to topic electric field lines. We can represent electric field pictorially. Pictorially means we cannot see the electric field lines, but to understand it, we can draw its geometry. Suppose this is plus Q charge and a plus small q charge is placed here. This will experience force in this direction. Now if Q is far away from plus Q, force will be in this direction, but its magnitude will decrease. If we put this charge Q at this point, force will be in this direction. Suppose we put these Q charges at different position on a sphere at a distance r. So when charge is here, force will be here. When charge is here, direction of force will be like this, here like this, here like this, here like this. So we say that these lines are representing electric field. We cannot see them, but this is a pictorial representation of electric field lines. We can define field lines. An electric line of force or electric field line is the path along which a unit positive charge would move if it is free to do so. Now, direction of electric line of force at a point is given by the tangent drawn at that point on the electric line of force curve. Suppose this is field line due to some charges. So direction of electric field at this point A will be, we will draw a tangent here. This is direction E1. And at B, we will draw a tangent here. So this is direction of electric field E2 at point B. Now the strength of the electric field at any point is measured by the number of lines of force crossing a unit area held normal to the lines of force at that point. Suppose this is a unit area and we keep perpendicular to the direction of field. This area, keep this area perpendicular to the direction of field lines. Then number of line passing through unit area will give the strength of electric field. As you may see here, at this point electric field strength is low, at this point electric field strength is more, because here more number of field lines are passing through given area which is unity here. Here less number of field lines are passing. So if field lines are congested, then their field will be strong. If field lines are not congested, they are away from each other, then field is feeble or weak as compared to this point. Now properties of electric field lines. The lines of force start from positive charge and end or terminate at negative charge. As you may see here, this is plus q charge, this is minus q charge. So lines of force will start from here and will terminate here. Here no sign is given to q, means this sign is here. This is plus q charge and this is minus q charge. For an isolated positive or negative charge, they originate from positive charge and terminate at infinity, and for negative charge, their direction is from infinity towards charge, that is they terminate at negative charge. As you may see here, these are field lines due to plus q charge. Now are you thinking here is no field lines? No, here are also field lines, but I have not shown them because they will be so crowded that to draw picture is difficult. So I have not shown here these field lines, but they are here. So they are originating from plus q charge, coming radially outward and terminate at infinity. This is for negative charge. Electric field lines are continuous curve without any break. The lines of force can never intersect each other, because if they do so, there will be two directions of electric field at point of intersection, which is not possible. As you may see here, suppose two electric field lines are crossing each other, then what will be direction of field at A, this point? One tangent is on this curve, other tangent is on this curve. So there will be two direction of electric field, which is not possible, which is absurd. So two field line can never cross each other. Now electric field lines do not form closed curve. because positive and negative charges exist separately, or we may also say because of conservative nature of charge or field. Now what is meaning of this? Suppose we put plus q charge and minus q charge inside a plastic pipe, hollow plastic pipe. Now what will be direction of field outside this pipe? Like this. And direction of field inside this pipe, this will be also from plus to minus charge. So they are not forming closed loop. As you can see in case of magnet, suppose this is north pole, this is south pole. So direction of field lines emerges from north pole and terminate at south pole, and inside the magnet they are from south to north pole. So they are forming closed loop because north and south pole cannot exist separately. When there is north pole, south pole must be there. If you break a magnet, then there will be two magnets, north south. But in case of charges, this is not so. The picture is entirely different. So field lines never form a closed loop. This is diagram represents pictorially the uniform electric field. Here field is strong and here field is weak. So we represent field lines by parallel lines at equidistance. This is uniform electric field. Now this is field pattern due to plus charge. They repel each other. If both the charges are same, at the midline of the line joining the charges, field will be 0. Now if charges are not same, suppose this is q1, this is q2, and q1 is greater than q2, and distance between them is r1 plus r2, then at this point to the side of smaller charge, field will be 0, because field due to q1 is in this direction, field due to q2 is in this direction. At the point where they are equal and opposite, net field becomes 0. You may solve it with the help of formula. If q1 is greater than q2, then r1 will be greater than r2. Now at the point where E is equal to 0, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by r1 square is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q2 by r2 square, means sum of these two fields will be 0. So left hand side electric field is equal to right hand side electric field, and we get q1 by q2 is equal to q1 by r1 square is equal to q2 by r2 square, or q1 by q2 is equal to r1 square by r2 square. Now next topic is electric flux. The electric flux through a surface held inside an electric field represent the total number of electric lines of force crossing the surface in a direction normal to the surface. Suppose we held a plane normal to the electric field. So, and for example, suppose electric field is uniform here. So you may see this is a plane. Now number of field lines passing through this plane are a measure of electric flux. Now take a small area delta S here. Now one thing should be clear here, that here I am taking, or we take, direction of this area perpendicular to the plane. Here area is a vector quantity. So this is delta S is a vector. Now electric flux, small electric flux delta phi or phi, as I have written here phi, is given by scalar product of electric field intensity E and delta S. So this is equal to E into delta S. This is definition which is in the form of number of field lines crossing the area. Now How we will calculate it mathematically with the help of this formula. Put the value of field there, put the value of area vector, take their scalar product. So phi will be equal to E delta S cos theta, because a scalar product of two vectors is magnitude of one vector into magnitude of other vector into cos theta. As you may see here, this plane whose direction from electric field line is delta is theta, this is delta S and this is E. So phi will be equal to E delta S cos theta. Now if theta is equal to 0 degree, phi will be maximum E delta S. If theta is equal to 90 degree, phi will be 0, as cos 90 is equal to 0. Now unit of electric flux phi is equal to Newton meter square per coulomb, or Newton meter square into coulomb to the power minus 1. Have a look in some more diagrams. Unit vector n, which is along the direction of electric field. So this surface area S, now this is not a small area, this is surface area S, and in vector form it is written as S, vector S is equal to S dot n cap, where n cap is the unit vector along the direction of area. Now this is projection of area at an angle theta. So projection is S cos theta. Here electric flux passing through this area is 0, because direction of area vector is perpendicular to field. So if plane lies inside the field so that it is parallel to field, then direction of area will be perpendicular to field. So here flux is 0. Now electric flux is a scalar. Electric flux is a scalar quantity. E is vector, area S is vector, but flux is a scalar quantity. Here are some more diagrams. Now if field lines are entering the surface, then flux will be negative. If they are coming out of the surface, flux will be positive. Now suppose at different point, direction of E and a small area delta A is making different angle at different point, then we will calculate flux for each small area and then take its algebraic sum. Here phi is equal to delta phi plus delta phi plus delta phi. Take flux, calculate flux for different portions, and this will be equal to summation E dot delta A. Let us solve a numerical problem. If electric field intensity E, which is uniform at a place, is 2 into 10 power 4 Newton per coulomb, then calculate electric flux passing through an area 10 centimeter square when plane makes an angle of 30 degree with the field. So here plane is at an angle of 30 degree with the field, so direction of plane will also make an angle of 30 degree with the plane. Put the value of E, A and theta in this formula. Phi is equal to A cos theta. Solve it and field will be equal to 17.32 Newton meter square into coulomb to the power minus 1. So that's all for today. In the next video lecture, I will start the topic electric dipole. Thanks.